Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on that like button if you like my video. Also click on that notification bell. Thank you. Hey boys and girls, in this lecture we are going to download and install VMware Workstation Player. Once again, the VMware Workstation Player is a virtualization layer that sits on top of your computer's operating system. So this way you could utilize multiple operating systems on the same computer hardware. So we will learn how to check the system resources on your computer so it meets the required resources, and then download and install the VMware Workstation Player software on our main or host computer. Okay, so very first thing is to check the resources. So if you are using Windows, then you could simply click a Win key on your keyboard and it will open up this menu or programs menu. Type PC. This will show up this PC. If it is Windows 10, it will show up this PC. If it's an older version of Windows, it will show up perhaps my PC. When you see this icon, right click on it and then go to Properties. Okay, so in the Properties, you will see the processor information. You will see the install memory, which I have 32 gig, and you'll see I'm running Windows 10 Professional from my computer. So it doesn't matter if you have Windows 10 Pro or Windows Home Edition. All we are making sure is that we have the right resources. If you have anything less than 4, then I would say you definitely need to buy a newer computer with a higher memory and CPU. So we have enough, we have actually sufficed the processor and memory requirement. Now let's take a look at our hard drive. I'm going to close this down and I'm going to go back to my program menu and I'm going to type again PC. Again, I'm going to click on it and it will open up all the drives that are attached in my computer. This is the main drive, which is a hard disk. And total, it has 475 gig of space, out of which 271 gig is free. So I have a lot of disk space that I could use. For my Windows machine, I'm going to be using 50 gigs, so I still have a lot of left over. So make sure you have enough required free disk space. If not, at least you should have a 20 gig of free space. Let's close this now. Now the next step is to download and install VMware Workstation Player software. All right, I'm gonna go back to my programs and I'm gonna go to my Firefox. This is my browser and I'm gonna type download VMware Workstation Player. And it should bring me the first page, download Workstation Player. Right here it says try Workstation 16.0 Player for Windows. Click on download, save file. Now depending where your file is being saved, make sure you could reach that folder. If you are using Firefox, you will see this arrow right here which will indicate that the file has been downloaded. So I'm just simply going to click on this one and it says completed, and I'm gonna, as I move my mouse over it, it will change it to open file. So click on open file. Okay, so Workstation Player 16 installation is starting. So it says right here on the bottom right hand corner. So depending on your computer speed, um, it could take anywhere from a minute to 5 minutes to complete the entire installation. Okay, welcome to the VMware Workstation 16 Player Setup Wizard. Click Next. So VMware End User License Agreement. I have gone through this license agreement. If you want to go through it, I would recommend go ahead before you click on I accept the terms in the license agreement. Click on this check mark. Click Next. Okay, select the installation destination and any additional features. Enhanced keyboard driver. A reboot will be required to use this feature. This feature requires 10 megabyte. You could check that, Or if you're gonna check it, your computer is gonna reboot after the installation. I'm gonna leave that unchecked because we're gonna go through this lab setup and I don't want the computer to reboot during that time. And then add VMware Workstation console tools into the system path. Leave that default checked. Click next. Check for product updates on startup. I don't like to see the product updates, so I'm going to uncheck it. Join the VMware Customer Experience Improvement Program. It's up to you if you wanted to join and participate. For now, since this is our lab, I'm going to keep it unchecked. Click next. Create shortcuts. Desktop start menu, that's fine. Leave it default. Next and install. Okay, so please wait while the setup wizard installs VMware Workstation 16 player. Copying new files. Okay, completed the VMware Workstation 16 player setup wizard. Click the Finish button to exit the setup. Okay, so the installation has completed. How do you verify the program is up and running? You go back to your computer programs and right here it says VMware Workstation 16 player. If you cannot find or it does not show up on your programs, you could simply type here VMware and it will show up right here, VMware Workstation Player. You could go ahead and click on it. Okay, it says VMware Workstation 16 Player. Use VMware Workstation 16 Player for free for non-commercial use. So we will keep that default. And since this is what we are doing for training, not for commercial use, so we will keep that radio button on, click next or continue, and then finish. Okay, so this is how our VMware console looks like. That's where we're going to go ahead and create a virtual machine and add some resources. So anyway, to manage our virtualization layer, this is the console we will be using to add or remove resources. I'll see you in the next lecture.